100 people, but the area towns around us, we probably catered to about 15 to 20,000 people. The only bad thing about that was in winters in the Midwest, as you all know, can be a challenge, and getting deliveries out in snowstorms are not fun. So that was the biggest challenge, was the weather for me, and just it was too small of an area. So I owned my shop for 5 years. I sold it and moved to the Chicago area. I had family in there, and loved that area so much. That's where we stayed I was in there 32 years in Chicago. Started another company. Several years later, freelanced and worked for a lot of friends of mine that had shops and organizations and companies in there. So got introduced to so many big events and corporate people. You know, back then Illinois Bell was around. We did all their functions and major events for that. I helped do the Walgreens for daughter's wedding at Lake Forest, their estate, and it was a lot. But by that time I was also an AIFD member. The American Institute of Floral Designers is 1,200 members worldwide, and that opens a lot of doors. I designed for the Tournament of Roses Parade on the floats, and I'm now helping with the cars on the Rose Parade again now. Taught Western style design in Taipei for the American Floral Arts School once, back in the 90s, and I've done state dinners at the White House. So this industry opens the doors for so many things. You don't just have to be behind the counter, designing everyday flowers. You can do whatever you want to in this industry. That's the fun part. You can teach, you can lecture, you can travel. There's a lot of things you can do in this industry, but you need to learn the basics. How many of you have been designing more than 10 years ago? Raise your hand. Okay. 20 years? I know your hand's going to stay up a while. Deb, right? Yeah. It's going to be up for a while. Okay, that's fine. How many have designed less than 5? Okay. Put your hand back there. Jess raised her hand. How many years for you?
14.
Yes. 14? Nice. Okay, good. So we have a little bit of a mix. We did a class in Indianapolis just a couple weeks ago. We had some newbies and not designed at all and stuff, so that was fun. You could just see them like absorb like sponges, and that's fun. That's the fun part of teaching, if they pick it up and run with it. But I've also had students that could not do it. I used to teach junior college level for 26 years, and I had one student, she took 3 of my classes, and she just could not do it. And I felt bad because she wanted to do it so badly, but then she just didn't have that. I think we all have it inside. You either have that knack or you don't. Now, some people can be taught, they can do basics, but she wanted to do the elevated one, and she just couldn't do it. It was kind of funny, she couldn't put colors together, but she dressed very nice. I even said, but you look great. If your clothes match, you could put colors on you, but you couldn't put colors together, right? It was just really odd, And I think one of the last classes I taught, he was autistic, an autistic young man. I was not trained to teach autistic students, so I'm a little nervous about it. And the other instructors told me that he doesn't like to work with tools. He'll face the back of the class. He won't face you. He won't talk to any women at all. Well, he was the only gentleman in the class with me, so that was a little awkward. But after a couple of nights, he would always do it early when I did, and I saw he rode a bicycle. He had his helmet. I still do ride bike. So we had a common interest. I said, what kind of bike do you have? And we started talking. And another couple of weeks, his chair was turned around. He was talking to the ladies, and he was my best student that year. He won a competition for me, and he was amazing. His parents were thrilled because just that connection with the teacher, and it was a male teacher. He didn't like female, but now he was talking to everybody and stuff. So it was a connection with flowers that we got going. We had something in common, and then he opened his eyes. Very good, very good. So I love to teach. So I always tell people, if you learn 1 or 2 new tricks from me tonight, it was worth your trip. And the food's pretty good. Those of you who just came in, make sure you get to eat. It's very good. But I like to use basic flowers. I mean, everyday flowers. We're always going to have carnations. We're always going to have roses. We're always going to have palms. Whether it's a wire order or if it's just everyday flowers. Because why? Less expensive, usually, than obviously our tropicals and stuff. But there's nothing wrong with them. I will always promote carnation use because carnation is one of my favorites. My favorite flower is calla. We'll get into that later, calla lilies. But carnations get a bad rap. We have to break that stigma. It just kills me. Even back in the 80s when I was doing it, I'll spend, back then $100, a lot of money. No carnations. Make it pretty, no carnations. I hate carnations. I don't even like that word, hate. So I would usually ask, why? Why don't you like a carnation? It's too common. They're boring. Like, okay. We can do fun things with carnations. They're not boring. They last flowers, it still has a fragrance, if you think about it. Even a lot of our roses are grown hydroponically now, where they don't have the fragrance. It was either, you want fragrance or you want longevity. We're gonna take longevity. You know, but I miss, the garden roses still have fragrance, but a lot of the other ones don't. And I miss that. Carnations still smell good. I don't have one in front of me. I do, we'll talk about that later. So I will always use a carnation if I can in any of my designs. Maybe not all of them, but if I can, I will work them in. And I'll show you guys later what we can do with them. But yeah, she mentioned the farm to florist bouquets. How many of you get those in the store? Raise your hand. Okay. Hopefully you'll get to check those out. They are beautiful bouquets. Let me pull one out. This is just one. This is called the Fields of Europe. This comes like this, pre-made. It's very pretty. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. You could cut this, you can put a few more greens around if you want to. It's ready to go. You can put that in a vase. Now I just took this out of this vase. This is what I'm going to play with you first. I have gone to shops that do get these farm to fresh bouquets, and they do just take it out of the wrapper, they cut it, and they just put it in the vase like this, and they send that out. Don't do that. Don't do that. I mean, yeah, the flowers are pretty, except for that one I just broke. This is not designed to go yet. Okay? This is not designed right. I would not. None of you would do this. Please say you would not do this. Okay, good. No, you don't do that. So beautiful quality, but you don't just cut and go. Now, there are shops that do this, as I mentioned. Drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. You know. And I was one that was dead set against the mass market back then. You know, back in the 80s when the grocery store started selling flowers, like, how could you do that to me? I'm going to start putting gallons of milk in eggs in my cooler. I did not. You know. But as I got older and wiser, it's thanks to those grocery store florists that's getting flowers out to the public. We don't get everybody in our shops. I wish we did, but we don't. You know, they're getting to the mass market. They're getting people to buy flowers when they buy bread and milk. They're taking flowers home, whether they're florists or not, and a lot of them are. I have AIMP design friends that manage flower shops in grocery stores. Do you have Hy-Vee up here? No, probably not. Hy-Vee? I don't think. I think they're just.
Farm market. We have farm market.
That's
high end.
Do they have a floral shop in there? Okay. Now, do they do weddings and funerals and everything?
I don't know.
Okay. The Hy-Vee chain, I think they're out more like Iowa, maybe Western. They have full service flower shops with full floral design staff in there. So they've come a long way. It's not just this. This is what the grocery store used to be. They just chopped them out. Now they actually have really full-time designers in there. They're doing a good job. But again, they're getting the people exposed to flowers. So that's important. So yeah, this is a no. We don't do it this way. It doesn't take much time just to add just a few extra pieces of greenery. The lily grass, that's the same bouquet, but I took it all apart. And that's what I would do with the Farm Refresh. I would lay it all out, make sure the quality is there, the majority of it is, and then start putting it in your base and start designing with that. So I'm going to do one real quick here for you. It does not take time to do. I'll put this over here. So I started with the natives gather in base. How many of you do hand-tied bouquets? Do you make it in your hand and drop in the vase? Good. Yeah, that's what I always used to do. Don't do this so much anymore. This is a lacing technique where you just lace the leather in, piece of cake. Drop it in. This is one of those Fields of Europe bouquets. I'm going to add a few extra stems to it. So, just like I said, I just spread it out. We're going to start with the sunflowers. How many use knives versus cutters? Raise your hand. Who's a knife? Knife people. Knife. You're from the ghetto, aren't you? Cutters? Carpal tunnel, right? Yeah. I swear I was born with a knife in my hand. It's always in my hand. And I just always was. Now, we moved to Arizona 4 years ago. My wife and I went hiking. I'm a klutz, apparently, on these hikes. And I fell. Didn't really get hurt too bad, but hurt my shoulder. So, you know, we're doing this all day. Doing 100 or 200 arrangements a day. This hurts. So a friend of mine, Jenny Thompson Ingram, these are her tools. They're called Rocky. And you can go online and get these. They're also tools very similar to this on Amazon. You can get them. These are very good tools. She gave this to me probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. I thanked her very much. Oh, thank you. That's really nice. But I'm a knife guy. You know, so just give it a try. I didn't. So I sat. Well, then I fell, hurt myself. Well, all right, so here we go. Cutters. I really do like them. I really do like these. And I'm getting better where I think I can pretty much hold and cut at the same time with it. So, I'll show you. Sorry, knife people. But you can actually do this. So as long as you can still cut and hold. But my main pet peeve when I'm teaching design students, I don't want to see cut, drop. I hate it. I don't want to use that word hate. Yeah, you just put a stem in. Half the time it goes on the floor or the trash. Where's my knife? Where's my knife? Just hang on to it. Just hang on to that knife. So, but some of the woody stems and cutters are nice. Just keep your knife nice and sharp. It's all good. Grab a trash can. I'm not using it. Sorry, ladies. We'll be sweeping later. My first design school I went to, he actually told us all trash goes on the floor. Your design stations for your product, not the trash. Because how many times people just cut and just leave it on the table? No, you can't see your product. So you've got to. So trash is on the floor. If you have a trash can, which I usually do, use it. And I always want to sweep up my own mess. I don't make people clean up after me. It's my job too. But I always tell my design students, now after they've been with me for a few semesters, if you have all your product in front of you, there's no reason you can't get that arrangement done within 5 to 6 minutes of start to finish. So if anybody wants to time me, they're very welcome to do that. We should be really close. How many of you know that roses seal shut? Well, first, how many know what roses, how they drink? Right? They drink through the skin of the rose. They don't drink through this, it's the skin. So when you're taking thorns off, if you get careless, and you scrape that skin, you're taking water source away. So be very careful. How many of you still use the metal rose strippers? Okay, good. I mean, I still know people to do. The main thing is just don't squeeze it too tight because it'll just rip the skin right off that rose. So just be careful. You can use gloves. You can use. They make these like a rubber. You put around the spikes or whatever. I just use my knife. You know, even if it's a little duller, it's still not going to hurt the skin. So, and a rose will seal shut within 10 seconds of being cut. So you can't just stand there and hold it and talk like I just did. You've got to give it a fresh cut. Now you don't have to use everything in this bouquet. I'm going to be close to it. So my time's going to be off because I stopped to talk. This rose is called Cancun. I love Cancun, right? Why would I not buy a Cancun? I love it. Yellow curves, kind of a couple of these. Well, this is just starting with the Farm to Fresh bouquet. And we're just building off of that. How much is a Farm to Fresh bouquet, Jess?
Anywhere from $8 to $10.
So $8 to $10 cost. Okay. All right. And then I'm adding the yellow curves to it and the butterfly ranunculus because they give me more money for the order. So, okay, so this costs $8 to $10. You're going to triple, that's $30 right there. Then just for this bouquet, another maybe 10 to 15 for the vase. Well, I've got $100 to play with. But they wanted sunflowers and yellow roses. They had a list. This pretty much covers it. So you can start with that Farm to Fresh. And just add a few more stems and you're there. Because the butterfly ranunculus is a little bit more of an unusual flower, I like to have it more towards the top and not bury it. Okay. Not bad. That doesn't take long to do. You'd hire me. We'll talk. I don't think we're not moving back to Michigan, I'm sorry, or anywhere in the Midwest, but let's see how fast that went together. So I mean, that's very cost effective. In my book, instead of go and buy a bunch of sunflowers, a bunch of butterfly, but the pomps, all of that, this is good to go. This is great. Let me put this back up here. You're good. You're good. My runner was ready to go, ready to run. So yeah, don't do just the chop and drop. Take a little extra time. There's nothing wrong with this either. Lily grass, I love any of the grasses you can put in. That's perfect. All right, fun. You want me to start thinking about Farm to Fresh just a little bit? I hope so. I hope so. Let's move down to this one. So I love mud bases. Now back in the old days, mud bases were boring. You know, the clear 9 inch, right? Come in 3 styles, spiral, strap, whatever. They make really cool vases. Now, I'm going to tell you these are not inexpensive, but you can rent these for weddings. You can do these for hospitals. You can do a lot of things. Have any hospital florists in here? Kind of. I mean, you do a lot of work for hospitals. Okay, perfect. Secretary's Day, is that big up here? Administrative Day? Not anymore. Are we upset about that back there? No. Well, because if I remember right, Secretary Administrator's Day, is that right around Mother's Day? Prom?
It's between Easter and Mother's Day.
That's why I didn't like it.
Yes.
Yeah. In Illinois, that was big when it was new. It was big. And that's just one thing I didn't appreciate because of Easter always is mainly plants for me, Easter lilies, maybe some centerpiece work. But then we had proms that started end of April. And then, of course, right through Mother's Day. So it was always kind of more of a hassle to me. But just as simple. I love these. I think they came in a box of 6. But these are probably like $10 a piece, right? Did we figure that out?
No, I think they were 5.
Oh, they were 5 a piece?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
the box is like $30.
Okay. Then we got these from Mash. Love Mash. Everybody buy from Mash? Okay, good. Love that company. Really nice people over there. So, but I like the clear ones as well, but I really did like this color. So one thing I like to do in bug base work is just something different. And that's just taking the aspidistra leaf, and all you have to do is just fold it and just make a slit, and then you just feed your Gerber daisy right through it to get that look like that. That doesn't take long to do, and I'm sorry I used all of them. You want to pass that around? I would love you to pass that around. But I want it back so I can finish, okay? Something like this is what's going to separate your shop from your competitor's shop. By just doing that, you literally just fold it, pierce your knife through it, and then run your Gerber daisy through it. That's a cool look. Good. That's going to make, just do a bud base with 2 gerbs. Do it with a rose. Do it with a carnation. It doesn't have to be a gerb. Any of the sturdy stems will go through it just fine. And that way, all it was just a lily grass, 1 aspidistra leaf, 1 orchid, 1 Moab rose. How many of you love Moab? This was, so does everybody follow Pantone? The Pantone colors of the year? Yes, no? No? Okay. So Pantone, it's, they pretty much come with the colors out, not just for the floral industry, but for the interior design industry, fashion. So 2 years ago, the Pantone color was Peach Fuzz, or like a peachy coral color. Last year was Mocha Mousse, which Moab would have fallen into that. Any of the caramel roses, coffee roses, any of that. That made me hungry with Mocha Mousse, but it was okay. I'm a chocoholic, I admit. So this year's Pantone color is white. It's white. There's like Cloud Dancer or something like that, I think it's called. I was kind of bummed about that. But on the other hand, white goes with a lot. I love all white arrangements. I like white and green, white and yellow, white and pink. White's cool. It's a cool color. So one thing I like to do, when they bring that back, I will add this later. Fresh cut. Hot water too long. I like to do groups of 3. And we did this a lot for weddings. I just helped do a wedding a couple of months ago where it was just long banquet tables for the dinner. It had 100 of the, oh gosh, what was it? I think it was a keto. I don't remember the variety of the rows for now, for sure. But I had to reflex all of them. We had 8 tables with 100 roses on each table. And I had to reflex every one, put them in these clear vases at different heights. And down that, it was the most beautiful table, all 8 of them. But it took me 3 days to reflex 3. I did it in my sleep pretty much. It was insane, but it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Something else I'm going to introduce you people to tonight, and maybe you use this. How many of you know what this is? Raise your hands higher. 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. Middleno. Middleno was really popular before COVID. I don't even like to say that word. But before COVID, you could get this in every color from apple green to all of these, peach, fuchsia. And COVID hit, and I think that company went under. And it's taken a long time, and now it's back. So we can now buy this again. Mash has this. Fitz Designs has a lot of it. You can go online and buy from them as well. But yeah, I love this. And what I like about it, I'm a branch guy. You know, again, born and raised in the Midwest. Early willow trees, birch trees, dogwood trees, loved it all. So they came up with this. It's very flexible and pliable. So let me cut this back in. two groupings of the bug bases. And then if you are doing this for a party or a wedding, hello, you stand up. And just take your middle lino, tuck it in one base, go to your neighbor. Ooh, I'm not done yet. Ooh. Just one to the other. And now you've got individual bug bases that are now a centerpiece. And it just all ties together. This middle lino costs about 20 cents wholesale a piece. So you can, it's a centerpiece now. So you go from individual bug base to a centerpiece for 60 cents. The centerpieces on your tables all have some sort of middle lino in it. You can also do the architectural look, geometric look with this. You just take one piece of middle lino and you cut it. I'll go back up. Cut it down. I was telling somebody earlier, like that arrangement on that table, it had orchids in it with 9 Moab roses and then just 3 pieces of middle lino. But I cut it into 3s. I pre-cut my tape. You can just use floral tape. Actually, what I would probably use is the covered wire that Oasis has. So when you have that, like either brown or beige or just whatever. You can use floral tape. I just don't want to see the tape. But I had the clear waterproof tape here. So you tape these together. If I did a lot of these, or if I had an event coming up, I would do these ahead of time, just to get them done. That. One more. You pull it. You tape it. Cool, right? Does not take long to do. This tape takes a little bit longer than just the bind wire. That's all there is to it. And again, this is 20 cents. I put 3 of those in that arrangement. You can get another $10 at least for that because of the look of that. And again, this is something that your competition or your competitor, your neighbor isn't going to do that. You need to do it. You know, again, put one of these. Do that in a bug base. I've also taken, I think one of the tables back there, you can just make loops like this. Just break it up. Tape that. That's all there is to it. A lot of fun things. You got to open your mind, be a little bit more creative. But very inexpensive, but a big upsell for you guys in the store. That's what we're here about. Anything different that you can do, I would do it. This is just another set of bug bases over here, just with the one orchid. I forgot to ask the name. Hey, we didn't look that up, did we? The name of that Macara orchid. But I love that color shade with that. And the Moab lilligrass, I'm a huge lilligrass fan. Over here. This is one of our blue net bases. I'm sure you all maybe recognize that. Well, I can't just do the ordinary stuff. We have these beautiful orchids that we got in. So I just did a hand tie. Just a spiral. Hand tied with that. I started with the tape. Anybody use this? Tape? Yeah. Love tape. No tape?
I love tape.
You love tape. Yeah. Curly, straight, love it all. I actually have tape. I've had it for probably 15 years. Probably this tall. Very hard to find. I haven't seen it since. But I use it all the time at home. But I love this. So I started with a bundle of tape. I just spiral my orchids in. This has got 2 bunches. So how much would you charge your shop for this? It's be 20 cents of orchids. They are. Even dendro. How much are dendros here? How much are dendro? Retail. Retail. 8 to 10. Okay. Well, this would be 200 just for the orchids. If it was a dendro, the Macaras are more than that. So this would be a party piece, not an everyday piece. You know, I'm just showing off the container, but I had these. I got to do it, and I love the ting in there just to get the height up, to exaggerate it. So just cut it, and just drop it in. I love those Macara orchids. But yeah, it would be very expensive, but if you get good party work, you could do that. How many you still do discards and planters quite a lot? Hospitals, funerals, all that good stuff. Yeah, of course you do. We all do. I won't get into funeral homes. That's a whole other. We have a sympathy program where in Charlotte in 2 weeks. Yes, so we'll talk sympathy later. But just real quick, I had sympathy business. I got with the funeral director in Illinois, and he had 3 locations, and I was pretty much like a doctor on call. You got calls all the time. So they have their place, but it's okay. It's just a nice little staff plant in a liner in one of our boxes. So this is what you do when you don't have the wooden cowie picks. You just take a rose stem, put it on the water tube. That's what you do. Love the Scabiosa. I didn't leave shine. I forgot to ask for leaf shine. My bad. I would always leave shine my plants when I send them out. You know, I want to do that. So it's all good. You have to use leaf shine. They've come up with better leaf shines now. It's not quite so much of an aerosol. It's not quite so bad. When I was in design school, my teacher told me, just to let you guys know, that if you're going to do this as a career, you'll probably never get married. If you do, you get divorced. Or you're going to die young because of all the chemicals that you use. Because back in the 70s and early 80s, everything was sprayed. Everything. We didn't die like that, like Jeff Fresh does. It's like, well, gee, thanks, cheerleader there. That was great news for me. I planned on getting married and having children. I don't want to do it. Whatever. So, we're happily married 24 years ago. So we're still good. We're still good. I don't really like to airbrush, but every now and then we do. Just a few stems of tea, 2 stems of Scabiosa. So my main pet peeve with a discard with fresh. I want to discard with fresh. Discard with fresh. Green plant with fresh. Sure, we can do it. Put the water to it. Make it happen. 2 days later, you get a phone call. Flowers are dead. I want my money back. Like, you look up the order. Man, that was a discard. With fresh. Like, ma'am, if you notice. And we would even have cards printed saying, these are water tubes. You need to add water every day to that water tube. Well, it's supposed to live like the plants. It's a dish garden with fresh. The fresh is dead in a day. I don't care what kind of flower it is. A daisy palm, a cushion palm, a carnation. Carnations will last a little longer. But this is going to be dead tomorrow because it's just got that water tube and water. So if they don't have water, it's going to die. So I didn't push fresh in dish gardens. I push European dish gardens, blooming and green plants, calanchos, mums, whatever, pepper, whatever had color, I did that, and not this. But every now and then you had to do it. You gotta follow those orders, the wire orders, you have no choice. But again, we had cards printed that said, add water to your water tube. You have to take that out, put the water, put it back if you want to keep the fresh in there. So that's just, quick and easy. You can have water tubes made up easy, no big deal. How many of you use bulbs, ribbons? We big ribbon people in here? Okay. Because you have to, you like to. You like to. Okay. Yeah.
I like the added.
Yeah. Well, again, that's added income for you guys, added value to your product. One of the companies I do display work for, they have very nice ribbon. Name just escaped me, but one bolt wholesale could be like $300 for a bolt of 10 yards. So interior designers use that, now flower shops do that. But we have other ribbons for, $40, $50 for a nice fabric, pattern of that. How many of you watch John Mark Sharp? Okay. Nice kid, nice young man, very nice young man. He has his own ribbon line, and the way he makes bows is amazing. It really is. Now, I am right-handed, but I work with my left. My parents were left and right-handed people. So when I make my bow, I work with my left. So I think normal right-handed people hold it and work with their right. So he's right-handed. So he can do, he'll take one ribbon kind, make a loop and a stringer and cut it, because he's working with his hand. Right? Holding here, I can't cut like that. It doesn't work for me. I love his bows, but I can't make them like he does. But I tried, it just doesn't work for me. That's very cool. All right, so dish gardens, always got to have those, have these made up ahead, have the water tubes up. If you don't have a water tube and a cowie picks, any rose step will do. I love monochromatic colors. That's what this is. All shades of yellow. All shades, you'll see the blues over there. All shades of blue. How many of you like to do monochromatics in your shop? Do you do it very often? Why not? Give me a reason why you don't do monochromatic. It's just like all one color. All one
Oh,
color.
I love it.
You do it. Okay, good.
Shades,
Good.
all shades of one color.
I always tell shop owners, all you have to do is just do one in your drawer. They give me all shades of pinks, give me all shades of lavenders and purples, anything. It doesn't have to be yellow. I think sometimes yellow is a little bit more of a challenge for people, and I'm not quite sure why. And Jess does not like yellow. I love yellow. Yeah, I love the yellow.
Not the customers, they call, they want like shades of purple, shades
Right.
of, yellow, like,
Yeah.
and I'll make it, and it looks good.
It
I
does.
love it more than the color.
But I think the majority of shops like to make mixed. Yeah, they like to mix like the pastels or the fall tones. Everything's assorted. So I do like all the one, just the monochromatic colors of all different ones. Again, we got the Macaras, we got the butterfly, and I fell in love with this. This is garlic. They have this in beige, the spiral garlic. Love that. That was cool. Reminded me of branches. We're in Michigan, of course. We had to do this, right? Michigan. Had to do that. Blue and yellows and golds. Just the roses. This is in one of the Blue Net vases again. Really pretty blue. And thank you for the vases. For your lovely shop. Thank you very much. Very much. So everybody got a Jet Fresh rose when you came in today, right? How many of you use Jet Fresh or dyed roses in general? Need to check into that. Now I know they probably are a little pricey. They're not pricey. Jess is going.
No, you can, so it depends on what you consider pricey, right? So
Right.
one thing with dyed roses, you don't wanna get 250 of them, right? Because you don't necessarily need that. We can do, I believe the cost for the blue, which are a little bit more multi-tinted, because in the box, they're actually like the Blues Brothers is the name of the rose. Yeah. I think I paid $1.50 average, and they were 50 cents in a box, right? So if you
I'm
have.
gonna pass these around because that's some of the cool colors that Jet
It's a
Fresh
little more cost
offers.
effective, right? Because they know they're gonna pay a little bit more retail, for those roses. So if it's only $1.50, you're only committing to 50 of them. You can kind of test them in your market, test them in coolers, see how they work. It's kind of, just see how it goes. We had the show that we did in Indianapolis with black. We brought in black roses and did a design with the hot pink orchids and some of the middle. And it was really cool. So they have leopard print roses. They have a galaxy printed rose that they paint and dye. It's a combination of both. There's a brochure that's coming around. They have Halloween themed roses that are like blood supplies or they're, all these things. So I would highly recommend trying them out. You can get them through us. You can get them direct through them. Not sure what's behind them on the spot.
Yeah, I love them. They have been a vendor or AIMD National Symposium. That's where I got introduced to them. One of their displays, they had all the different new varieties of roses. One was called Fortune Cookie. It actually was the color of a fortune cookie with like a cream color with that really, really pretty beigey fortune cookie color. And you peel the petal back and fortune was written inside the next rose petal. Just like the fortune cookie. I was like, that's really cool. And then another rose, I think it was like one of their Galaxy roses. If you peeled the petal back, there was a QR code on there, and you could pick the song, and you hold it up. So if you send it to your girlfriend, your wife, your boyfriend, your husband, they can play your favorite song on that rose. Like, you gotta be kidding me. Just stuff like that. They're really genius like that. Now, back in the 80s, Mylar balloons were big, and they used to make these plastic strips. If you remember, they were ribbed, and you had to take your fingernail or something, and you would put that over there. It was a happy birthday. Happy Mother's Day. It was the dumbest thing ever. But it worked because people could hear it. And it works. To me, that's the same thing, but upscale. We're all techno now. QR code, amazing. But the roses are beautiful. The quality is there. Because they are dyed, they last longer. They really do. I mean, these roses, you had them out of water for a few hours, they're not going to mold. They're really preserved really well with that dye. So check into Jet Fresh. It's cool. All right, so what do you think of this arrangement? Is it pretty? Okay, good. I'm glad everybody likes this. This is good. This is our Fields of Europe again. Now this time I put almost 2 bouquets in this. This is all going to be made out of Fields of Europe except for the orchids. So I started with the 2 rose vases. I made my armature out of the curly willow. I put like 3 stems in, and then I put about 5 stems across, and I started weaving them together. And I did use a few pieces of wire, but the rest are really just wound together to make your armature. And we're going to build off of that. So I started just with the pomps and the basic of it. I did have the 2 monstera, because I love tropicals, and some lilygrass for interest, and then I wove the lilygrass also through the armature. These orchids, they're not holding up too bad. They've been out of water now for 24 hours. Now you could put water tubes in that if you wanted to. That's just more to cover. But I knew they were going to be holding up for me tonight. So if you do event work or party work, your orchids are going to hold up fine out of water for a good 24 hours or more for an event. calla lilies, I'll show you that in a little bit, they can be out of water for days and hold up fine. I've done event work where I've had to suspend the large callas 7 to 10 days. They'll start to turn after 7, but if you're 25 feet up in the air, you can't see it. They still look beautiful. But definitely 7 to 10 days out of water, your callas don't need a water source. So if you're doing wedding work, party work, lay them, wire them, tuck them, weave them, they're going to look fine for that. Don't have to worry about a water source. All right, let's play. Now again, you don't have to use everything that's in your vase.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
The calories, will they do okay outdoors as well? I mean, with water, but.
Right? Again, if you're just, it's something you have to do on site. So if you're doing like an arch or something there, I would still probably wire this so the wind doesn't blow, but they do not need a water source for that day. They will define that day. Now, if it's 100 degrees cooking on it, they'll still make it through the ceremony, but not much after. In Phoenix, where we are, we use a lot of artificial permanents with fresh. So when you see all those arbors of all these beautiful white hydrangeas and it's 100 degrees out in the full sun, majority of those are probably permanent botanicals or so, with the fresh gradients and then water tube, or you can put the cages so to get the fresh you need, if we're going to reuse that for the ceremony and the reception. A lot of the arches, we just got out. A lot of the arbors and arches we do out there, they're just for ceremony only, and they don't go into the reception. So they just need to last for pictures. Do it. Don't waste your time and energy. And the cages are not cheap. All that costs money. I don't like to say that COVID word, but after COVID, everything supply-wise went up, and it never came back down. Why would it? We were paying for it, why are they going to lower it? So we're paying all those extra high prices permanently now, which I hate that. I had to go back to every book I own, funeral book, wedding book, and reprice everything. Because nowadays, if you, especially if funeral work, you have an easel, you have a cross, foam, floral foam cross, you're almost at $100 just for those two pieces. And I used to sell an easel for $150 back in the day. Like, wow, those days are gone. You know, everything had to be adjusted, and people got used to it, but you had to really prepare them for that. Especially if they were used to buying 150 easel for this. Now it's 300. It's just, and people did understand. They really did, but that was a tough sell. I mean, leather leaf went up. Everything went up during those times, and it never came back down. So we just have to adjust and just train our customers to adjust with us. So, any other questions? Just yell them out. Yell at me. I don't like having my back to you, so I'm going to try not to do that too much. So we're going to put 2 Macaras in. I apologize, ladies. I'm going to have to sweep up here too. I didn't bring a trash can with me. But I want the Macaras just to tie with the Macaras at the top. Everything should tie together. So one thing I always like to stress my flower shop owners and designers is to not overstuff. Don't do it. And we're all guilty of it. You make an arrangement, I need one more carnation right there. I need one more daisy pump right there. Don't do it. If you can redesign your vase or your arrangement where you can just shift a little bit, don't do it. But I was guilty of it when I was young and foolish. Like, yeah, it just needs one more card. Not a rose, but one more something. So if you figure you have one designer, you put one extra $2 flower in a vase, you do 30 arrangements a day, you add that up, that's about 14 grand a year you just gave for free. And that's just for an order. 9 times out of 10 it was probably a wire order. That's even worse. You can't do that. You can't do that. Just say no. Learn when to say when and say no. If you do, charge for it. You have to charge for everything you put in your arrangement. So, but it's easy to do. And we've all been guilty of it, I get it. But just watch your spend count. But again, we started off with our Fields of Europe. We're going to make just a really cool set piece here, table piece, bar piece for an event. All the stems are cut at a sharp 45-degree angle, never flat, better for water intake. Up here. I love, you know, I was never really a sunflower guy when I lived here in the Midwest. And I blame my aunt from Kansas for that. Nobody from Kansas in there, are they? Okay, good. She was not my favorite aunt at all. She's one of those relatives when she would come to see you once a year and she'd slug you in the gut. How are you? Boom! Like, I do not like you. I do not like you. And then one year she made my cousin, who was younger than I, sunflower shorts. And of course, you know the moms, you gotta wear them. It doesn't matter if you like them or not, you gotta wear them. I hated them. So I blame her. It was her. Hated those sunflower shorts. We ended up using those sunflower shorts as the gag gift. You turn 30, you got those sunflower shorts. So they went around the family for years. Unbeknownst to her, always, back then we didn't have social media, so you didn't have to see it online. Thank goodness. Because she would have hated that, but that's okay. So you can see just how fast this goes because I had these bouquets already. I didn't have to go outsource the delphinium, I didn't have to go outsource the sunflowers. You've got everything right here. It depends how much money that happy couple are paying you, is how much you can put in. Alright, we're not going to do too much more. I promise. Well, I could have even gone higher with that. But very simple. And it really did. The only time it took me to make it was just to make the aperture. Just wire a little bit of that together. But once you get that set, just start putting in your stems. It's very simple. You like that idea? But again, farm to fresh. Start with that. Take them all apart. Start going. Like I said, I'm not good at the rest. I think you could, but I'm not going to. But what a dramatic look just from a simple hand type okay to that. It didn't take that much time really to do it. All right, cool. Let's see. Next, let's talk about this guy. How many of you like to use tropical? Okay. How many of you keep tropical every week in your shop? No. Why not? Orchids? Okay. Orchids? Yeah. Don't have the demand. Okay. I still think it's worth your time and a little extra money to get something in. Get the 5 stems of birds. Get maybe, I think the anthurium are individually stemmed priced. Get 2 or 3 of those. And just do something a little bit of a high style with it just to show your customer that you can do it. If you have a lot of people walking in, a lot of people buy online now. If you still have a good walk-in trade, they're not going to know you do that if you don't show them. Don't show them pictures. That doesn't do anything justice. Do an arrangement. Tropicals can sit out of your cooler during the day. Keep it up front. Keep it up front where the customers pay with their cards. And they see that thing. Ooh, that's really cool. I maybe would like to order one of those. Well, have it priced out, ready to go. Always have your arrangements priced so people can see it. People don't want to ask, how much is that? They're afraid it's going to be out of their price range. Always have a tag with how much it is and go with that. So I would always have a tropical piece, and I ended up being known as the guy that had the tropical flowers. We got a lot of orders once you had it for them to see. So always do that. We went to Mayish yesterday. They have this beautiful Aramaris. Love that. Aramaris. Love it. Love it. Really fell in love with that. I use it a lot for hotel work in the Chicago area and in Phoenix because it's pretty long lasting for the color. But it looks
Is that by the stem?
I believe it was by the stem. I believe it was.
And they had 2 different sizes. They had like a big one and they had one.
They had some about my height almost, too, which I didn't need it quite that tall. But they had 2 different heights. I'm pretty sure they were about the stem. I want to say in Arizona they sell like 5 stem bunches, but I think that's just that market area. But I'm pretty sure it was 6.
And the birds were too. They were at Mayish. We got one of those Mayish. They were both by the stem Mayish.
Yeah, birds are on the stem as well. So here I want to show you where you can use tropical and everyday. So we've got the bird of paradise, the Aramaris, my cool monstera foliage, the aspidistra leaves, not cut through with the Gerber daisy this time. But I also have your basic sunflowers down here. I did a lot of basing. Basing means the stems are very low in the container. So you're going to see a lot of my range. I don't use a lot of greenery with these. There's no leather, there's no salal, there's none of that. I did put a little moss. Thank you, Dave, for the moss, by the way. A little bit of moss around the edge to cover your foam. And then I did a basing of sunflowers, and I did a basing of the green carnations in here. So you cut them very short. This has got the floral foam at the bottom of it. So you just work this down so you don't need the foliage. Now something fun you can do with the carnation, I'll use this as a sample. When I teach competitive side for students or in competitions, we're looking for something where you can either manipulate foliage, like the aspidistra leaf, or deconstructing a flower. So just to destruct a carnation real quick, you just take all the petals out, doors, beautiful. Come like that cranberry color or this. These are cool. So then you just use these. And you do a basing of just these, and people go, what is that? You tell them, well, it was a real pretty great carnation. But, so I got a nice little basing of the calyx of the carnation, actually the carnation flower with that. And then I also have the sunflower. I took the petals off and just have the brown at the bottom. It's always important to have good design elements of depth. I want to be able to have people come up to this. Yeah, this is pretty. Your eye, your focal area is here. I would be looking here because there's a lot of detail. And people, I love when they go, "What did you do to do that?" Something else. When you come up and you can take pictures of these before they disappear. I also have like an arch in here of the Equiseta. Equiseta is so much fun to play with. I mean, you can put a wire through, like an 18-inch gauge, and do all these geometric forms. This I just bent and just laid on top of each other, like that. It's gonna hold up just fine. What I also like to do is make garlands out of it. You just take them and you cut into individual pieces. I would normally use the decorative wire, like the gold or the fuchsia or whatever color you want. I didn't have any wires. This is the Vitellino. Just cut the point really sharp. I did take my knife and slit the Equiseta, and you just spread it. Just spread it out. This is something you can do watching TV at night, you know, which I don't like to do that. We don't like to do that, do we? No, you work all day, I want to watch, I just zone out when I watch TV. I don't want to hear, you know, I know a lot of my friends, they'll take yarn and they'll weave and they'll do all this. We used to make bows, I hated that too. I just want to veg out and watch TV at night. But you can do this is no big deal. Pay your kids to do it, they bug you for something to do. But then this is just a nice really cool garland that you can just add to it. This is, I just made an arch in the middle. You can just add this to it, just have it coming down and trailing. Just trail it down the table. If it were a wire, you could bend and shape it differently. But there's so many different things you can do with this. I'll pass it around when you go by that. Easy to do. But again, this dries. I've got some of these garlands I've had for 3 years. It'll dry that gray-green color. You can airbrush it if you want to. But just hang it up, bag it, so keep it. And they last really well. I've had to do probably 6 to 8 foot garlands of that, and they last. You can also do pit leaves. You can do Israeli rustic sleeves. I'll show you that in a minute. Almost like when you make a floral lei, just do it with the leaves, roll them, and do that. So, again, we got the garlic in here. Just a lot of detail in this. Make sure you look at it. So, yeah, you just pierce them, just make cuts, and just feed them on, and they're good to go. So, another little manipulation trick to do that. I do have a really cool piece here. I love the wooden boxes. Absolutely no greenery in that whatsoever. Good thing I don't work for Fern Trust or somebody like that, because I'd be in big trouble. You're recording this, aren't you? I love Fern Trust. I love greenery. I just think it's something that you're every day, if you can cut back on some of that expense of it, you know, do that. So, what do I have? I've got the Moab, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I do have 8 roses in there. This would not be an expensive arrangement at all. That is that curly garlic, again, that I had over there, and I'm monochromatic. Yeah, it's actually, when you cut it, you do smell a little bit of the garlic fragrance on that. But I love that. The only thing I based besides the Moab roses and the Hypericum berry in the same color, I want something to tie that color in together. And of course, the bird of paradise, I want them different. I don't want them flying around. So everything is angled. This guy's turning. Everything's angling out, except for this little guy in the middle. But I also like to use the stems of the bird of paradise. I got in trouble with that back in the 80s. I got that phone call, I talked to somebody, designer's choice, do something fun. Okay, finally. So I did a cool, almost like an Ikebana type arrangement. 3 flowers, heaven, man, and earth. 3 birds. And I thought, oh, I can put the stems. So I put these stems in, like that. You know, 2 of them coming this way, 1 coming this way. I got a call immediately. Those flowers are broken. That bird fell off. No, it didn't. So, lesson learned. Make sure you explain what you're doing first. Let them know, okay, I'm going to design for the bird of paradise. I'm also going to use the stem as an accent piece. There's no flavor. Yeah, but you have to explain. But again, if you have one made up in your shop, they could have seen it. Back then, we didn't have the internet. We're talking 80s. So, describe that would be very hard to do. So, you have to be very, yeah, okay, probably not quite so funky next time. But I do love the stems. Everything's angled in to the focal area of the container. It's just something kind of fun to do. And again, the Equiseta, just for an architectural tour, geometric form, but again, different look. You know, Equiseta isn't So you have to make sure your placement's right. And that's another reason not to use greenery, so you can actually see your stems going in, so you're not getting hit. So they almost like they interlock in there, which is cool. And then you put the roses around, the Iberica berries, I can see them, you're good. Again, did not take long to do. Nothing should take you over 5 to 10 minutes to do, if you've got all your product in front of you. You know, I'm not counting, find the container, find the flowers, get them all. Everything's in front of you, start to finish. It should not take you that long to do. But again, a sharp look, something a little bit different. So I'm gonna have you start bringing me, I think, Mr. Whites. Please and thank you. You like me so far? Did you learn anything? We're getting some new ideas? Good. Good. That's what I like to hear. Cool. All right, some more farm to fresh. Yes. Yeah. Ooh, that's kind of pretty. Remember I deconstructed that carnation? And I just tossed it up here on the table, but it actually made a pattern. It was also, I don't do it now, but it was all spread out like it was pretty cool. Something else before they bring the rest of those up. I said deconstructing a carnation. Maybe you're doing a wedding and you had Lizzie-Anthus, white Lizzie, maybe one broke, but you had a carnation. You can take the center out of a carnation, make it look like a Lizzie-Anthus if you have to. Take all the middle out, and that could be an emergency Lizzie-Anthus flower if you have to. Comes in handy. You can also peel the calyx back, just peel it down, and it almost looks like an open loan instead. And I like the movement of it. Not that your delivery drivers are driving crazy, but not at all. But it's just a little bit more of a movement to it. Doesn't hurt it at all. Just peel them down, almost like a firework type carnation. Just another trick you can do with a card. Thank you. You probably could do a corsage out of it. No, I think we're good. Thank you. So this bouquet is called the Wonderful Wishes bouquet. So it comes with the roses, the alstroemeria, the delphinium, the gyp. I think I covered it. Carnation, of course. And then, which is very pretty. Nothing wrong with that. It's very pretty. Just 8-inch gathering base. I did add a little bit of a salal collar to it. Just add a little bit more of a greenery to it. I don't remember the name of this one, Jess, do you? With the coral rose. This isn't the same, but I don't remember the name of this. Anyways, 2 different bouquets. Because this has the coral, it's got the white daisy palms in it with the delphinium in the cards. I love the green carnations. Green and white's one of my favorite color to have. So just nothing basically. I added nothing to this. This is just a cut. I did again kind of spread it out and redesigned it a little bit, so it's not quite so chop and droppy. But then I know we also have BloomNet has these purses. They're cute. So I took the same bouquet, this one, and put it in this purse instead. So same bouquet, but just in this container. So I didn't change a thing to it. But 2 totally different looks with just that one Farm to Fresh bouquet for that. Ta-da. These are really cute. I can see these for a wedding. Maybe a bridal shower, birthday party, Mother's Day, true. But just 4 pieces of lily grass. Sweet 16, that could work. 4 pieces of lily grass, that's the only thing I actually did add to these. It's 4 stems of lily grass. Something else we're really hot and heavy in the market today are sustainability. So that word always scared me when I first heard it. I grew up with floral foam. I did, I admit it. I said the gentleman I first worked for, he was very well known in the industry, and he actually did, I think, do design shows for Oasis. So I grew up with Oasis. That's all I knew was Oasis. So I'd be very careful when I got older and started doing presentations. They maybe had Syndicate being the sponsor, where they have Aquafoam. So I can't say Oasis. Thank you, Aquafoam. Syndicate, I'm looking at the camera now. So yes, I love them all. It just depends who you're working with. But I grew up with floral foam. So then now they're coming out with sustainability, chicken wire. You name it, no foam. We have to save the planet, which I'm all for that, don't get me wrong, I get it. But thank goodness Oasis has come up with, it's called Renewal. Has anybody tried it yet? Renewal floral foam. It's new. I don't think it's totally out yet to all suppliers. I think you could probably ask for it. They could probably get you some to try. I do not know the price of it. I think because it's new, it's probably a little pricier. But it is all plant-based. There's no nasty chemicals in it, it will break down a lot quicker. Good for the dust will not choke you, no. I have played with it, they did give me a couple blocks to try. It's about the same consistency as the Midnight Foam, and it's a brown color block, so it doesn't go black when you get it wet. It's more of a brown color. So how many of you in Midnight Foam, the black floral foam? It's kind of fun. If you want to not worry about having so much filler, and you don't mind seeing a little open space, at least it's black and you really don't notice it. If you take a 5x5 or 4x4 clear cube, put a piece of Midnight Foam in it, wet it, it looks like it's a black cube.
Oh, cool.
So much cheaper than going out. Oh, you're right, that is cool. Good to say it out loud. Because black cubes are expensive. Buy the clear with the Midnight Foam and soak it. It's black. It looks like a black cube. It's perfect. You don't have to worry about it. So we're excited about that. I have a lot of friends who like to design with it, and they almost show a lot of the foam showing, especially in funeral work. They're trying that. I'm not quite sure about that yet. If I have a floral cross or a floral wreath, I pretty much want it to build. I don't know if I want the open spaces of black showing as much. But for party work, event work, yes, Midnight Foam, very good with that. So back to sustainability, the renewal foam is good. Give it a try because it will break down much easier. They do make like the decorative mesh you can use instead of just regular chicken wire. I had to experience chicken wire. I first moved to the Chicago area. I worked for a very large company that was still very much back in the olden days, and they didn't like floral foam. So for funeral work, they had the cold mache containers. They would put vermiculites, like what you grow plants in. Then they would cut up arborvitae pine, cram that in, and then they would take chicken wire and cram that in, and then chicken wire come over the top, and you had to use the hog ringers, those things. And you had to clamp these clamps over the chicken wire, the machete is like, good gosh, you guys, my gosh. If we'd had foam, you put the foam in, you're good to go. Now I gotta do all this and this and this. Well, in Chicago, they have the delivery pools here in Detroit. A delivery pool service where there's one facility and you all meet and you divvy up the deliveries. Well, it's huge in Chicago. Probably still is, I don't know. Well, anyway, I had to do my first arrangement, huge funeral piece. White mums, white football mums of all things. Football mums shatter if you look at them wrong. Football mums, roses, cards, glass, huge, this big. So I made it the way they told me to, and then the delivery guy came and picked it up. And you know, for the delivery pool, everything's wrapped. Well, he put that in his paper one, so it was now this big. And that's what I did. My face went, ugh, you just broke every flower in that arrangement. No, I didn't. Did he cut the paper? Boom, there it went. They're fine. Because it was designed in that chicken wire, arborvitae, and the vermiculite. So they move. Oh my God. Okay, so that was fine. So I did learn to do that because that's the way they did it. I worked for that company maybe a year, and then I, thank goodness, got picked up by somebody else that didn't have to do that. But it was fun to learn because that was my first experience with chicken wire, ever. So now we're back to chicken wire. They like the chicken wire because it's sustainability. But like I said, I think Accent Decor makes the decorative mesh, like chicken wire. It's a little more decorative. You can wall that up and put that in a clear base. That can be your medium. So chicken wire works. Also, Sitting at Sales will have the plastic grids that you put on top of the base. That'll hold your stems, but they cost money. You can buy chicken wire at Home Depot and other places, a little less expensive. I meant to bring some just to play. I did not. What I like to do is I just take either the curly willow, 2 or 3 stems of that, wad it up, put it in the base. If you want to see it, great. If you don't, then you can put this leaf ribbon around it, which that's what all your bases have on the table. I thought this was a pretty color. Instead of just a regular Aspidistra plain, it's almost like a coppery bronze color. That's what's on your bases, on your table. I thought that was really kind of cool. And they also have just the birch. Looks like birch. I love this too. By the way, I don't see anybody from Mayish here tonight. This is on sale for like $5.
And man,
At Mayish. Run there and get it. They maybe had only like 10 rolls of it, so hey. But I love it. This is new. This is not on sale. So, but I love that. So the birch I did put in this one, and there's a big arrangement up front. I had the ribbon on the outside, and I just used the U-glue tab, and just U-glue tabbed the ribbon right to the base. How many of you use these? Thank God, right? Oh, thank God. Thank you again for bringing me these. I love these. Now, they're not inexpensive. I think they're like $100 a box, right? Wholesale, but you get a lot. These last a lot. You get the bigger ones, these are just the tabs. You get the ones that are like this big, and you cut that down to all kinds of things. I actually do this on the middle, architectural pieces. You can put a little bit of this on that instead of taping. You could do the same. I didn't have these at the time I made them, so but I would. You could do that. No, I forgot. Not your fault.
But
Yes.
you put all laces in here?
No, that's just water. That's just water. All I did was just tie. I took 9 roses, and then I took some of them. I took the middle, and that one. I held it all together, and then I just put the waterproof tape around it and cut them and just drop it in. So the whole bouquet will lift right out. So yeah, later you guys will enjoy those. Yeah, you can still do the grids of the waterproof tape, either clear or green. But again, that takes time to do that. So if you keep your stems short like that, just tie it together, cut and drop it. That's a drop and go, real easy to do. So those are all done like that. This one too, yeah, we do that. This one I didn't use rock. They sell the river rock there. And of course, everybody has probably rocks you can use home, but these are the nicer decorative river rock. So no tape, no nothing, just rock, just insert and go with that. But all this is very deliverable, even if your driver is crazy. You can have this back in here. Yeah, so I just want to show one also with this. Let me see if so, florists. When we are somewhere, if we see something we want, we go get it. So there's hosta plants all over here. So these are real bad. Okay, they saw me do it, it's okay. Hosta leaves. We're just borrowing, right? We're just borrowing. I do that all the time. I always forage, Jess knows this. Everywhere I go, I'm outside looking. I'm roadside in. Good word. Good word. Well, that one year I did, the tree was down. It was on the ground. So I cut it, and I brought it. I want something big. Okay, you can have that now. Thank you. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, I love the leaf ribbon. Just hides our mechanics really well. This vase is another blue bit vase. They bought me a shop, had all these taped and gridded already for me, bless her heart. It was really nice. I appreciated that. So just a cool little vase. I can see a lot of possibilities with this. This has got the Wonderful Wishes bouquet. So this is just a large bouquet. I just opened it up. I added just a few stems of love leaf in there, and you're good to go. I just thought it was a very pretty vase, and I know it's a blue bit vase.
It has that many roses in that bouquet?
The large one does. Because I think it's small, medium, large.
Small, medium, large, extra.
Extra large.
Yeah, and like we took a cut, there was one arrangement that you did that took 2 small,
Yeah.
and we put it together.
I think it might have been this one actually.
Yeah, maybe
I think I took the 2 smalls, because I wanted more roses in it. So you can make like a large bouquet, but still cost effective with that. So I'm just trying to think of time for you guys. Especially at the holidays, you're busy enough, you can order something like this. You got these pre-mades, boom, boom, done. Saves you a lot of time and labor. So I love those for that. Another vase, blue knit vase. This was in the back with the food. Isn't that pretty? I love that color. That is so pretty. Now this one, again, maybe your client has more money. They love the flowers. They want the white roses. They want the delphinium, but they said, but I want to spend maybe $200 or $250 or $300. So we'll see willow branches. Well, there's a razor coming up. I took the ends of these and I gridded it, and then put it in the clear vase, and that's my medium. Instead of curly willow or wider, I use the stems of these instead. I fell in love with these ranunculus. Those gorgeous. I love these. 3 stems of those in there, just with the curlies that will open eventually, possibly. So all I added different to this were the blue hydrangeas, the ranunculus, and the pussy willow, and maybe a few extra collar of salal leaves. But again, if you're paying, what is one of the extra larges?
One of the extra large, that one in particular, probably $12 because of the size. Yeah, because it comes with greens too. Always recommend
They do
you
come with
check out the
greens.
greens and embellish the greens a little bit.
Right.
But it's about $12.
But if you're only paying $12 a bouquet, you can embellish with some greens, and you're still gonna make profit on that. And whatever, ranunculus, I'd probably charge 10 to 15 bucks a stem for that. So if you have an order for 200, start with this, add your extra stems, again, times 8 to do it. I love that. But I did the ranunculus, so I love that variegated color, and it picks up the color of the vase. Always make sure you tie your container with your flowers. You'll see that everything has to tie in together. And I do love clear vases, but I also like the color. And it just looks more expensive that way. I'll say that back. Thank you so much, my helpers. These ladies have been great to work with. You're very lucky to have Rachel over there in your area. Hey, Rach, before we do that next one, maybe the one with the flax that's weaving, woven through the pussy willow. Keep going. That guy, yeah. Yeah, that one. Thank you. Coastal dunes. Coastal, okay, cool. Love that. What do you think of this?
Love it.
Isn't that cool?
Yes.
Just a black plastic tray. Doesn't have to be expensive. I'm based with the carnations, the Moab roses, the hypericum, and I love these tulips. I thought that color went really well with our ranunculus and our scabiosa. Scabiosa, now I even left the plastic tubing on that, does not bother me. I'm not really focused on it, almost looks like the actual natural stem color. Normally, I think, years ago, they were almost more of a white color, I think. You had to take those off. And then you had to run a wire up if they were going to do this. But these stems are nice and strong anyway. I probably could have taken that off. But I left it to show you. You don't notice it, do you? That there's a plastic pipe on that? Yeah, you would never know it. Again, pasta leaves. They just mulch. Oh, here, I take mulch. But got those. Carnations again. Well, if you notice, this is flax. Anybody get to play with flax very much? Flax leaves? Love these. So what you do is, who wants to come up and play? Who wants to play? You. All right, come here. What's your name? Becky. Okay, Becky. This is yours. Oh, thank you. All right, I'm going to give you my knife. So what you're going to do, you're going to take your knife, and you're going to come down, go right to here, and just cut right to the middle. Yeah, that's the base. Put your knife down there. Ooh, cool nails, by the way.
Thank you.
Actually, it goes to this arrangement right there. Just stay next to it. Right in the middle. Yeah, go right up. Right down the center. There you go. All the way. Are you a knifer?
No.
I didn't want to say, like, you don't like knives, did you? I'm so sorry. That's all you have to do. I couldn't have done it. I'm sorry.
No.
You're right. Let me see how we did. Did we go down deep enough? We went. The main trick with this is, yeah, you did. Is to go really down almost to the bottom, but not quite. Okay, cool. So we made bunny ears. I gotta finish mine now. All right. So to do this treatment, what we're gonna do is you take the left one, bend it, fold it like that. Yep. Take this one, fold it back. Yep. Take this one, fold it over. Fold it over. Yep. This one folds. Now keep them straight on me. There you go. Now this one goes up. Now this one goes over. This one goes down. That's all there is to it. So, over. Down. Over. Up. That's all there is to it. So one piece of flax. You just keep going. These again, if you had an event or a party or just wanted to have a couple of these in your pool, you could do this ahead of time. Yep, just keep going until you get down like that. Yep, you got it. Keep going. Then when you get to this part, you just tie it. Make a knot. Ta-da! Show me how you. Something fun. Different texture. Foliage manipulation. You pass it. Sharp cut, put it in the foam, it'll last just fine. You're doing great. Keep going. I gave you a longer piece. I want you to have more fun. I want to have you stand up here and everybody's looking at you now because I'm done. You're doing great.
So sorry.
No, you're good. Okay, you can probably stop right there. Now just go ahead and tie it. You're just going to do just tie that. I'll let you go. You got this. Yeah. That's all there is to it. You can actually let go. Let your hold it, you can. It's not going to go anywhere. If it's easier to tie.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go. So, make it look. You're so love knots, right?
yeah. There we go.
There you go.
Right?
There we go. Make it
That's cool.
make another knot. There we go. That way it won't fall apart. I can take that home. Yeah. Tuck that in a vase, blood vase or razor. But again, that's going to separate you from your competition. You're welcome. But notice I kept this open. This is our framing. I framed this book, it's called framing. So, beautiful roses here, scabious ribbons. This is a dramatic. One of my design instructors told me, sell that air. Sell that air. Absolutely, charge for the space. Charge for this. You can add this up, but you're getting a lot of look here. Not a lot of product, actually. Not a big stem film. Less stems than this, by far, than that. But look at the look that we have. So, gotta charge for that design experience. I'll show you that. Right, the uniqueness of it. Cool. What are we doing? We're doing good. All right, cool. So I had to use these jet fresh roses, which I absolutely love. Yeah, we can do that next. The blue, yeah. The main thing I wanted to show you on this is if you are a florist, if there's a lot of party work and event work, I love these black trays. I believe they're from Oasis. But they're very shallow, they're very heavy, not heavy, they're made well, they're sturdy. So I've got 3 full blocks of Oasis in here. As you all know, chlorophyll holds 3 quarts of water per block. That's got some weight to it. So, right ladies, did you carry this up here? Yeah, it's some weight to it. But it's just that black tray, but it's very sturdy. We do this a lot for our aisles, going down to weddings. We've actually had one gentleman made me, it's 2x4s, put rolling wheels on it, you staple these on, and you can just wheel these down the car, and the wheels lock. So you wheel these down, if you got 100 of these going down an aisle, you wheel them down, you lock the wheels, you set them. Afterwards, they wheel right back into your van, or right back into the reception where they need to go. A lot of fun things you can do with this. So, what I like to do is a lot of, I don't want to say clustering, but sometimes if you group flowers, they're more impactful. When I first did the Rose Parade, they had you put like 3 bunches of carnations together, 100 roses together, everything's together because you want to be seen on television. And for those big crowds, the same thing, just group and cluster. Solid blue here, solid aqua color here, then you can still spread them through and just pick up the blue delphinium in there. I believe there was probably, there's probably 25 hydrangea in here, and that's 50 roses in there. So not inexpensive, but just to show you, that was 2 bunches, there's 25 to a bunch. That's 50 roses. But it's, again, real important to have that depth. But you could have had them all up here, not as dramatic, as you have to bring your eyes down into the arrangement. No, it's all the way around. Yep. All the way around. Yep. Yep. Took my GoPro with me. Sorry, guys. So what I wanted to do with this, I wanted to show you that they also have the Middlino in the glitter colors, like that. Ooh, I know. Gotta have the glitz at the holiday time for party work. So what we can do with the Middlino is just tuck it in, almost like a wave look to it. It goes in very easy. In our class in India, I actually had people insert these into the rose head. It wasn't as easy. I've done it in carnation heads before. So these are all carnations. You'd actually cut this as a sharp angle, pierce it through the carnation, so that way they're attached to the flowers. It's a little trickier with the rose to do that. I didn't want to take the time to do that in front of you. But look at what, 20 cents. Oh no, take that back. I think the glitter was 25 cents, right, Jess?
Yeah.
Yes, a little bit higher than just the plain color. But still, you're not going to spend a lot of money for just a little bit of glitz. You can go as crazy as you want to. I won't. I just want to get you the idea of these add-ons. It's only going to bring you more profit and more look. It was pretty before, but now it's really kind of cool. Now it's got that little bit of a wow factor to it for not a lot of money. And you can certainly cut these short and have them coming up if you want to. That's up to you. I kind of like to keep the same pattern going. Yeah, if you could pierce through this, you can pierce it right through there. It looks really cool to do that. So, it would look like that. Is it easier with the carnation calyx? It's a lot thinner than a rose one. So, you can always use the U-glue tab too if you wanted to. You just U-glue tab a bit of that. We probably do that. So, yeah. You like that idea? Something you can use maybe? Middlino, Manish.
Can you spell that?
Middlino, it's M-I-D as in David.
M-I-D?
M-I-D-O think Nance had a ton of it. I think they had more glitter, I think, than plain, if I remember right. I'm sure they probably get it if you have to, but I will send it to you. The middle name is good stuff. It is. It is. And lucky you guys get some to take home in your bags.
Yes.
You've all got little Lino in your bag to take home with bags. Take is brittle. You can't apply it like that. I guess you can even make it, if it's maybe older, maybe you can, the Metalino, you can even soak it, and it can be more pliable, I guess. I've never had any trouble with it breaking, but apparently it does maybe with age. You can have it. You can have it. Yeah, you can. All right, cool. So that's that. So party work, set work, things like that. I believe this is also a blue net box, correct?
Yes.
This is the rusted cube key. Love the rusted cube. Of course, I did not do what the wire service said. I like the cube. And again, I fell in love with the garlic. It's the Vinny orchids, one of my favorite orchids. Talk about longevity. I mean, back in the day, how many of us had to make orchid corsages for Easter and Mother's Day and all those? They would last forever. They're a very long-lasting flower. This is garlic. It's that, I think they call it spiral garlic or something. Yeah, it's really cool. Mash. Got that. The Moab roses, 2 stems of the orchids, just the one Savidium stem. I believe probably the Savidium stem could cost wholesale what? I know in Arizona, what do you think, 27 for 1 stem? Lucky, because I think in Arizona they're like 40 for 1 stem. So a lot of times I've taken, thin them out and cut them out, and that way I can sell others orchids to use for $10 a piece or $5 a piece. Yes, question. This is a regular size Savidium. I didn't peel them open. You can always peel this back. I just didn't. I kept them closed. You can open them up further. Like I like the green color. I thought it went well with the rustic box. And that this is also the framing technique. So your focal flower could be the Moab, but to me it's a Savidium because it's got the height to it. So this is my focal area, and I want to frame it. So it draws your eye all the way through. You like that?
Yes.
I would do something like this, an artificial for a display piece, big time. Go buy a permanent botanical Savidium spray. You can come up with another kind of greenery for a framing, based with some artificial roses. So I can do this in fresh meat. This one looks like a permanent. You might sell it. Interior design shop like Lovely said, some of their clients' homes. In permanent or fresh, either way. All right, cool. I'll shoot that later. You can put that through with you. So I mentioned earlier the pussy willow stems. I made a grid. So whoever's lucky enough to take this home later, it's just got the cut ends of the pussy willow stems in it that I kind of wound together and just put in the base, and that's my medium. No foam, no tape, but it's very stable. It's not going to go anywhere. And these are just, I call this my leftover pot. These are all leftover pieces I had. So I just made an arrangement. So I got the middle needle just looped in there, ranunculus, tulips, everything that I use for the other things, I use it all up. So I don't like to waste anything. So, but again, it's sustainability. No foam, no tape, just stems. That's all you need. Just a lot of stems. Wow, that's like a word. I shouldn't say that. But yeah, I fell in love with all those scabious and different flowers for years. Over the butterfly renunc, I just love a little bit of it. It's just really cool. So you can pass that around. It's not heavy. All these arrangements are going home tonight. We'll explain that in a minute. Yay! That is the piece that was up front with a sign. Hello. Yes. So this one can you bring it up? It actually goes with your top. Right here. It could be my van. How's that? Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So yeah, you can clap for it. That's fine. Goes with your top very well. Again, I started with the Fields of Europe, 2 bouquets, cut them apart, and then I added the hydrangeas in, the ting, the one bird, the Moab roses, because they open so nice. This is one rose you don't have to do this too if you want how you want our roses open now for weddings. That opened up beautifully. Our rooms are all air conditioned for us for these. By the time, the end of the day, they shut the air off in the one room so that you can open up more. But I love that open rose look, and it really holds up well, even fully blown like that. So a few of the orchids in there. But this time I did put the ribbon on the outside with the UV cap, with the birch ribbon on the outside. So I didn't want to see the stems with that. So cool. The sunflowers I did. Well, I didn't talk about this one. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Jess. Almost forgot this fun piece. This is cool. Again, I like the contemporary design. You know, who says plastic has to be ugly? It doesn't have to be ugly. I like that. Just to get a little bit of a geometric form. So instead of having everything go high, I want to extend. So 2 agapanthus jetting out. I use the stems on this side, floral on this side, 1 aspidistra leaf where you just loop it. And I use the stem of the aspidistra to pick it in. Not a greening pin, not a wooden pick. The actual stem that you cut off the aspidistra. Cut it, work it through. That way you're not having to worry about having another expense. The flax, you make a slit, bend, that's it. So 2 flax, but I get a cool look. Not a lot. I want the focus to be here. I want to bring this out this direction. A little bit of moss to cover my mechanics. 2 of the Picasso, love Picasso. Mini callus, those are in the floral foam, just a tulip. And notice I took the Israeli ruscus, I took all the leaves off, except just the very end, because I wanted a clean look. I've got the clean look of the agapanthus, I want the clean look of the Israeli. So then I took those leaves, and I just spread them on the Lido, and I just stopped there so you can see it. I did pierce a couple Hyperic berries in there, so that way you're bringing the color, just a little bit of the color of the moab out to the table. Not a lot of product, but a lot of show. Charge for that space. Charge for that space. Absolutely. Cool. You like that? Fun? We're gonna put this for a blue net. Sorry, blue net. We're gonna put you right here. Right there. Ooh. Wooden box. So I like the white. Again, you have to tell your arrangement with your container. White box. So I start with the white hydrangea on this side. So I wanted to almost have like a wave or like a very wavy motion from start all the way down to the end. The only greenery I used in here were 3 of the variegated aspidistra leaves. And I started by piercing one into the foam here, and I pierced the next one and the next one. So completely covered my oasis. Always cover your mechanics unless it's midnight foam. You don't want to see your mechanics. Cover it up. I had a little bit of a space open back here. So what I did, I took 2 pieces of the flax, and I did that. Almost like a ribbon band. It'll hold up. If this would be something more for an event or a party possibly. It could go to somebody's home. Somebody, if you have this on your website, that can sell it. Sell it. It's got 1 package of the Gerber Daisy, so that's 10 of the Gerber Minis in there. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 white roses in there. Roses are what, $5 retail? 5, 6. That's not bad. Picasso's a little more pricey. Picasso mini callus are pricey. Always used to kill me that the mini callus are more than the regular callus. Which that is, if anybody wants to know, my favorite flowers are white and calla lily. That's my favorite. So years ago, my buddy and I, we said, hey, one of us goes, you're doing a funeral. I said, yes. I want 400 white callas in mine. 400 minimum. And I'll know. I'll know. I want callus. Anyway, back to this. We're not doing funeral here. This mini callus been out of water since yesterday afternoon. He's just draped through the hydrangea. He's fine. Just to show you, you don't need to have him in water if you're doing even or party. Don't worry about a water source all the time with those. The rest of these are in. So we covered it with the aspidistra. You just pierce with your knife people. Pierce your knife so the stems of the gerbers go easy. The stems of the callus go in easy. Because callus are fleshy. You have to have an opening for that. Pierce that through. Lilygrass, I only pierce the one end. The rest just, you have to be picky when you're looking at lilygrass, make sure it's flowing right. Some of it wants to do its own thing. Make sure you've got the drape tubes. I want it to be a wave of motion. So, but simple to do. Just think about it. There's nothing wrong with seeing pictures of things. If I could do that, I could do that, do that. If you can price that out, it'd be an expensive arrangement, but that's what we like. You know, but again, if you have something like this in a shop to show people, they're gonna know you can do it for maybe their upcoming event. Maybe a wedding. It needs to be gorgeous with a table for a wedding with the big glass candles in between. Just don't reflex on the roses.
No.
Gosh, yeah, please don't. But I also, in some of the other arrangements, either it's the flax foliage coming down or the lilygrass coming down, I wanted that calla to drape. That is in water. It is in the foam, but I wanted to drape down like that just to go. I just think it's a fun look. I've I've seen this before, I don't do it that often, but I thought with that box, and again, I want to show you 3 Aspidistra and 2 flax. That's it, for greenery. And I don't mind seeing the open spaces like that. Like you could have used the black foam. Instead of seeing the green leaf, you would see black. To me, the green variegated goes well with the box. It's picking up that lighter color, it's picking up the rose color. That looks good. You like it? Something you can do? Good. Good. Love the motion, love the shape of that. It is very elegant, yeah. But it can also be very country. I can see country with this. Okay, so one thing I forgot to do. Hey, remember I took the hosta as well. There's this really cool grass back in the back too. I love that. I don't think they saw me do this with everybody here from the hotel. They're gonna say, not my room, Jesse's room. Jesse's room, she's gonna get it. As I said, this could be, I was gonna put this in something else, but I just mentioned, this could also be for country, like a country vibe. So I could probably just tuck in just a few pieces of this, maybe. This is actually gonna kind of pick up a little bit of the color of the Aspidistra and a little bit of the box. And it gives it a whole different, thank you, gives it a whole different feel, doesn't it? It just kind of softens it up a little bit. It does, but I'm not gonna put much in there. It doesn't need it. And I don't want to take away from the motion that we've got with the lily grass. Again, no one to segment. And some of that just softens up even just a little bit more. So. You could use mimosa. That would soften it up too. One thing about mimosa is it sheds. What?
This was free.
This was free. Well, it'll be at Jesse's room now. You know. Spring right hurts. Mimosa does shed. It's fresh. It shouldn't. You know, the thorns are terrible on it, right? Terrible on that. Yeah, we could tuck something here. I cut it. I might as well use it right with that. Jeez. It took a lot of effort to run out and get that. I know. I was pretty sneaky with the hostas, so I was kind of sneaky with that. I'm also very guilty of following landscape trucks. I'm probably like a semi-stalker, especially in Phoenix, because they turn those beautiful palm trees. It's like, so I did a truck full, a trailer full of them. I followed them to their landscape place. I said, hey guys, are you just gonna throw that away? They looked at me like, yeah, like, cool, can I have some of that? And actually, if you get like the palmetto, I mean, you can buy dried palmetto, and it dries beautifully. It's like a gray green color glass. You can airbrush it if you want to. I just like it natural. So I have curly willow, 8-foot curly willow trees in my house, in the really cool accent decor bases. And I got palmetto in there. It just has that desert feel with the branches. But yes, I'm a stalker. The one thing I found out right away was that the saguaro cactus up there, the skeletons of those saguaro cactus are very expensive. Used to be in Arizona, right? Yeah. So we're out hiking and I see them laying around. It's like, oh, no, I won't do it. But I would love to. And people make actually floor lights out of them. You can put a base. They're tall. They can be 6 to 8 feet tall or higher. And they're just like a skeleton. They're like a very bony looking skeleton. Because a cactus can weigh like 400 to 500 pounds depending on the height of it. So if you ever get a really bad storm or the cactus is maybe diseased and falls, I've seen pictures of where they fall on cars, they've totaled the cars. Because that's 400 to 500 pounds of weight. Cactus have a lot of water in them. So they're very, very heavy. That skeletal frame is very heavy. So they are pretty fun. I've learned a lot about the vegetation out there, what I can and can't do. Like right now, we are in our off season. So all of like your geraniums, they still have geraniums, lantana, all that, but they come out in October, and you plant your vegetable gardens in October, November, so you have them up until like April, May, and it's time for them to go, it's too hot for them. So our planting season in the fall and the winter, summer we have nothing. We have monsoons out there. So in the winter here, you pack up your patio for the winter out there, and pack up the patio for the summer. We're not going to sit out there at 120 degrees anyway. And the monsoons, my first summer out there, I was laughing at the people. Oh, monsoon. Oh my God, we were in that monsoon. It's like, it was a thunderstorm. A couple of cracks of thunder, a little bit of lightning and rain. It was not a monsoon, but they call it a monsoon. I said, okay, I'd really like to see. Well, never should have said that. Never should have said that. I think it was our third month out there, a really good one came through. And it reminds you a little bit of a hurricane, kind of. You know, here in the Midwest, thunderstorms come and go quickly.
Yes.
The monsoon, not that it's a hurricane, they can last for days. You know it's coming in a week in advance. These, you maybe get a day's notice it might happen. But it can be up to an hour of, yeah, but we had one, it was about an hour long of sideways rain, 90-mile-an-hour winds. You know, like, okay, I've had a monsoon. I don't need to do that again. We're good. I had my first Haboob last year. Cool. Did you see that in the news? The Haboobs out west, it's like a wall of dirt that comes, it's 20,000 feet high and 8 miles wide. And it looks like the end of the world, and pictures are coming. And thank goodness my wife and I were both home when it hit, because instead of a whiteout and snow, it's a brownout and dirt. And it's dirt and dust and sand. And I don't care how big your house is, it comes in. We got the nice new double pane window, it didn't matter. I was standing in the window and I could taste it. It was not good. And my first summer out there, they gathered, there was 3 of us from the Midwest, just moved out there. Okay, you Midwesterners, let's talk. Haboob season. If you get the warning, and the warnings come just like our tornado warnings do here, if you're on the freeway, you pull over or you get off if you can. You shut your car off and you turn your lights off. It's like, why would I get shutting the car off? But I don't want to suck up the dirt. I get that. Why would I shut my lights off? Because they're going to think you're moving. They're going to see those lights and they're going to follow you. And you're sitting there, they're going to ram right into you. It's like, makes sense. So if you can get off, get off. If you can't, pull over, shut everything down, just ride it out. And they're nasty. They're very nasty.
Don't have to shovel.
I do have to shovel. That's true. I do not. So I think I've lived through every major thing that we can have in Arizona now, so I'm good to go now. So, any other questions, floral related wise, or any wise out there? Talk to me. Did you have fun tonight? Yes, go ahead.
Do you have any of that black foam?
I do not have midnight foam. I forgot to ask if Nash has it. I bet they do. I bet they do. Yeah. The renewal, I said, is pretty new yet. I don't think Oasis is shipping except for requests right now. But I'm sure Nash should have it, the midnight foam. And I do know that's a little pricier than your regular foam, but it's worth it because of the time you're going to save with not covering up with a lot of mechanics with it. So it's all good. Anybody else? Questions, comments? Did you have fun?
Yes.
Did you learn a couple of things? You gonna go home and try a couple of these things?
Yes.
Good. You gonna start buying Farm and Fresh? Really think about that because they are really good. That's a good product for the price. I would do, especially the holiday time to help us out with that big time with that. So, how do we do on time? Did I do good, ladies? How did I do? Hey, gentlemen? How was it before? Not bad at all. So I want to thank Luna and Rachel and Jess for inviting me to Detroit. It's been so much fun. It's been very nice, lovely meeting a lot of really nice people here tonight. So hopefully I come back to Detroit. We'll do this again sometimes. Enjoy your goodie bags. You got Biddlino in there to play with. You have the Jet Fresh Rose. See how long that lasts out of water. You'll be surprised. They really do well. Obviously put them in water. When you get home, it'll last longer. But, you know, some roses just sitting here for a few hours, you're going to start to get a little bit of, right? These will not do it. So, yes, ma'am.
Do you have a book?
Do I have a book?
Yeah.
I don't have a book personally. I've been published in different things. If you Google me, I think you probably see I'm on Facebook quite a bit. I have an Instagram I don't use like I should. I'm not a techie guy. I'm trying to get better. If I do anything like this, I always post them so you can see different seminars and stuff I have done in the past. If you go to AIFD.org, all my contact information is in there. As I said, I'm going to be the president as of July 5th. Love that. So thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I've been in that 38 years. Doesn't feel like it's been that long. I got inducted in 1988 in Orlando, Florida. And then I got elected vice president in 2024 in Orlando. And now our national symposium we have every year in different locations. It's in Orlando this year. So my presidency starts in, I guess I should have invested in property in Orlando, but I did not. At timeshare, something, I should have done something. But Amelia Island is SAF,
Okay.
Society of American Forests. I'm gonna do a presentation there as well. I'll be in Amelia Island. That's August 18th through the 20th. And it's gonna be an everyday, but not the same as this. So I'm gonna be hitting more on that one about we gotta break the stigma of our everyday flowers. That's why I'm gonna really focus hard on that. And I'll still be showing some of the manipulation and thing, but we have to break that stigma. And that's coming from us. We've gotta be the cheerleaders to our customers that tell us, no carnations. Have that Purple Moon series. I love those. You know, don't show them the white carnation, don't show them the pink and the red. Get the purple, get the fuchsia, get the green, get the cool carnation. Even the old-fashioned carnations, that pink with the burgundy edge. Peppermint. There you go. Christmas time, yes. The mini carnations, you can spray some mini cards, you can do some fun things with those. Use them, but you've gotta use them, you've gotta talk people into it. So you have to really be a good salesman and have samples of these cool carnations. I did a class in Arizona, it was called Cool Cards. And I did the Middle trick, where you feed the Middle to the carnation. I did a dozen carnations in a vase, and I did a dozen carnations in a foam, flat, contemporary container with the Middle And I had to pick, which would you pay? Very similar price, 12 carnations, not much difference in the price from that plastic tray to that glass vase. Price-wise, a lot showier versus tradition. Everybody chose the more updated version, because they get more money for it. Dozen carnations in a vase, how much at your shop? 30, 35, not much. So you could do a contemporary look with carnations, and probably get 50 to 60 bucks, because you're selling that look. And if you use Middlino or Curly Roller or whatever you want, it's not that expensive to add into it. Just make sure you charge for it. And charge for your labor. Make sure you're not giving things away. That's the main thing I can say. We want to do this for a long time. So I always say I'm going to do this as long as I love what I'm doing. Yes, ma'am.
Did you say Bloom that was gonna start a new sympathy one?
No, I'm doing a sympathy program for them. I'm doing a sympathy presentation in Charlotte on the 24th. I think I leave the 23rd, 25th maybe in Charlotte. So they got, you guys have me everywhere. I'm all over the place. I never know where I'm at. I'm in the East time zone for the next several weeks. I think I maybe have 9 days on the West Coast time, which is kind of messing me up a little bit. So my first
So
night
did you
here.
record that? Did you record those shows? Did you record this?
This is recorded, yes.
Okay.
Here, wait.
See it.
Yeah. Wait. I should take. Can I take a picture of you guys?
Yeah.
Right where you are. I always forget I'm not. I always forget to do that.
See this on your Instagram.
Oh God. Okay. I'll try. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. Okay. Let's see if we can do this. I need a techie guy up here. Let's flip it. Ooh. Can I see you guys? All right, everybody wave. Wave. What are you talking about? Clean my lens. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, that's what I have decided. I hate when things talk to me. Clean your lens, you. Oh, let's try it again. Everybody wave.
So hold still for a minute.
Nice. Let's do this. I can't get this tip. There we are. Yay. I can't get me. Oh God, I'm not good at this. I have short arms. Short people. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. Any other questions, comments? I'm glad you had a good time. I'm so glad you came out tonight. I really appreciate you spending your evening. I know we're all busy. It's nice to just go home and chill, but I appreciate you coming out. And it's been a hot minute. Good. I'm glad. Anybody else have questions? Yes, ma'am.
They used to have classes in Florida for
Mhm.
floriology,
Yes.
and I went to all of them.
Oh, cool.
But I think what would have been good is if they would have helped the people that took the class that were not certified florists or AIFD to help them. I know Jackie was trying that towards the
Yes.
end. Are you thinking of trying to do that to get people more involved in AIFD?
I think what we're leaning for now, and Jess can jump in if she wants,
Yeah.
we just had our first hands-on class in Indianapolis a couple of weeks ago, and it was very well received. So I see more of those coming.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure how many of you in here would have loved to have made something tonight that I just did.
Yeah.
Okay. And we get a lot of feedback like that. We love your presentation, but I want to make that. I want to make that. You know, I want you to go through it with me. And when I teach a class, we do it together. So if I had this arrangement, we'll start with the same thing, and we'll put the hydrangeas in together. I'll do it, now you do it. And we're just going to follow each other so we're on the same page. And so that way I don't have to go around to each one of you. We're all going to do it together. So we are working on that, and I think after our success a couple of weeks ago, we'll be seeing more of that. And I know originally they were also help you prepare tests for AIFD. I don't think we're gonna do that, but at least the more classes you take, then that is gonna prepare you, because AIFD does have online classes you can take to help prepare you for it's called PFDE, Professional Floral Design Evaluation. And you have to take that to pass. There's a certain level of scoring you have to do to achieve AIFD, but you can score and become a certified floral designer of AIFD. So you're still an AIFD member, but you don't have the AIFD behind you, the CFD. You have the CFD, but you're still in our membership with that. So our partners like Oasis, BlueNet was, they're all partners, and they're all members of AIFD and get that accreditation with them. We also have student chapters. We only have 6 now nationwide, but we have student chapters there, usually universities and colleges, where I have an AIFD designer and teacher and an advisor, and then they help the students, and those students can compete every year at our symposium. If they score high enough in their student competition, they can achieve their CFD just by doing the student competition. And then they can go on to move up to AIFD, but they've achieved CFD already. So it's great. I always said AIFD was like the PhD for floral designer. We don't have PhD, but that's one of the initials you can get for that. We also have AIFD does not, but there's SAF has the Professional Floral, it's communicators, I think now, Professional Floral Communicator International. So that's where they're designers, but they also public speak a lot. And so you can get those initials. There's the American Academy of Floriculture, that's AAF, that's also through SAF, they offer that as well. Then there's EMC, the European Master Certificate, that's based in Belgium, but a lot of our local members have that. And a sample of that is you have to study and learn like 800 varieties, botanical name, what it's used for, how it's grown. It's very, very intense. So anybody I know that's done that, kudos to you. Right? But this is even a higher, it's insane what they have to go through. And I used to know like a Xanthodesia. The Xanthodesia are beautiful today, aren't they? What is it? Calla, very good. Yeah. Strelitzia, yeah. Botanical names are cool. They really are. But they also can freak you out too. I had one. I'm sorry.
What's a master florist?
There's different state levels at master floral certification. This was the European Master Certificate. That's EMC. So if you see anybody with their name AIFD, PFCI, EMC, that's just another certificate that they can achieve. But it's based out of Belgium. That's where that's at. There's also the International Master Florist. That's IMF. I mean, you can have the alphabet behind your name if you want to. And if I were 20 years younger, I'd think about it. But that's fine. It's okay. I'm good with AIFD. I'm good. When you are a new member of AIFD, you have to keep current. But to keep current means you have to go out and either do seminars or shows or teach or attend classes. There's online classes you have to maintain up until you can stop doing that after 35 years. And then you're in. If they do this anymore, you don't have to. I think after 20 years, you don't have to take those. We call them CEUs, is what they're called. Education credits is what you have to. I think after 20 years, you can stop that, doing that. After 35, you don't have to pay dues anymore. I've been at 38, so I don't pay dues anymore. I was only 25 when I got inducted, so I was pretty young to do that, so, which was cool. Yeah, anybody wants to talk AIFD, talk to me later. Can do it. This is our book here. This is our directory, so if you go online, AIFD.org, all of us are in here. And stuff, our pictures, our information, email addresses, all that stuff's in here. AIFD.org with that. So look me up, email me, I'll answer any questions you want. So anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
When you do seminars or whatever, do you look for a Zoom for a smaller florist maybe that can't close their shop and attend, but could still attend online somewhere?
You would like an online class? Yes, ma'am. You want to talk?
Yeah,
Yes.
actually, that is the feedback that we need. And I know that it was a lot for some of you, I think are maybe an hour, 2 hours away from where you live, maybe from where you work all day, you come in. That's why we're so grateful for
basic student chapters, yeah.
Right, that's all you. If you have younger individuals in your shops, make right here, you know, you've got the next generation right here. If you're in a position to maybe join one of those student chapters, take the class. If you can, you know, if you're looking for the next step in what you wanna do and you meet the qualifications in your, county to teach, you can start and partner with one of those, you know, colleges, community colleges.
I would love to see, to talk more about that, I would love to see where we get the Fields of Europe bouquets. We ship them to you guys who wanna take that class, then we do it like a live
Yeah.
class. You've got everything that I've got, we just do it together online.
Yeah.
That way you don't have to leave your home, you don't have to leave your shop. Everything that I do, you can do live with me, and I can answer questions and things, I can see that happen.
Absolutely.
Really easy,
But
so.
whatever it is that we need, again, if we can't do it, we'll tell you, right? I try to be very honest, you know, let you guys know if it's within our means or the wheelhouse that, you know, to do it. If it's not, we might be able to find you somebody who can give you what you need.
Right, yeah, for sure. So, who drove the farthest here today? Who drove the longest? How far? Yeah. 2.5 hours? What did you want to say before I go?
Oh, yeah, they're from Grand Rapids, they're from Picture.
That's far from here, right?
Yes. Rachel would like to say.
Oh, yeah, here. Okay, so I'll continue with you in just a moment. If you use this as a degree.
Yeah, Rachel. There you go. Thanks. Yes, thanks. I will make sure we get that. Thank you so much. You get
So
all the
we had quite the adventure getting ready for the show. When we came into town, we visited a couple of different bloom net shops to gather materials. Of course, we went to Mayesh to get a lot of other cool things, but I just want to give a special thanks to Magnolia Flower Shop for our lovely containers and also vase flowers and gifts for a lot of our other materials here. And so I want you all to know, I understand this is like a huge sacrifice of your time and your energy, so thank you again for coming. We have a ton of product. We have more than just what's in this room to give away, right? We've got some blue stems, we have some like clear glass in another room that we can bring in. If anyone needs help, you know, loading, we're more than happy to do that. I do want to give our featured florists that helped us with materials kind of first dibs on what they want to take home tonight. So Magnolia and Vegas, if you guys want to take one, take it home. Go ahead and
I want to give things, I want to give them something. They can still choose if they want to, but
Right, there's something in mind for you, Fatima. Yeah.
Fatima? That's here. I want you to have that one. I want you to take that one. For your job, yes, I want you to have that one. You can do something else too, but I want, that's for me to you, because I really appreciate all your help that you gave me. You got me a lot of cool things from your shop.
But yeah, again, from
So
the
that's
bottom of
yours.
our hearts, thank you so much for coming. The centerpieces, all of these are to be given away. If anyone, you know, has any questions for us, let us know. I did drop a business card in each gift bag, and we have some extras, so just let us know what you need, and, everyone, thank you again. Can we all give a very special round of applause for the director?
So I always kind of like to keep it fun when we give these things away. So did anybody drive further than 2.5 hours? Anybody? 2.5 hours? Give them first dibs on what they want to take home.
Yeah, for sure. You guys want to do?
Pick whatever you want. You drove the far. Who drove less? Who drove more than what? Hour and a half?
I guess we got 2.5 hours, we got 2 hours.
Anybody got 2 hours?
Wendy?
Wendy? Okay, good. Where's Wendy? Right there. Go take something. Any of these up here. Any that you want.
She wants your blue one.
Oh, cool. Take that. Who's got a birthday? Anybody have a birthday today? Yours is Monday? Anybody closer than Monday for a birthday? Okay, go pick something. Pick whatever you want. Take it home. How many years, who's been in business the longest? Toss me some numbers. How many years have you been in business? Yeah.
I've been in my family business
Yeah.
since I was 5 years old.
Oh, my God.
We sold it,
Yeah, okay.
and I've been in
Since 2008. So that's 17 years. Who's been longer than 17? How many?
35.
Who's been longer than 35? Winner, right there. Pick what you want. Any of these you want, maybe take it. It's yours. How about 30 years? 25? 45, pick another one. Yes, yeah, take it, it's all yours. How many years you been in business? 17, pick another one.
Who's the youngest? I wanna know like the newest story.
Who's the newest store you're in? Who's the newest store?
Like the
How many
newest
years?
one.
1 year?
Yes.
Take what you want. Absolutely, take what you want. 1 year, good for you. That's awesome. That's awesome. How many years you been, who's been married here the longest? 20 years? Who's been married longer? How many years? 29?
How many years?
50 years? Pick something. Pick whatever you want.
عايز احسن من حاجه كده
50 years, you get 2 arrangements. You get 2. 29 years,